all across this beautiful city. A new form of real estate is emerging. But is it new? Or is it a play on an old idea? I'm talking about laneway suites. The City of Toronto calls them a self-contained residential unit that's subordinate to your main dwelling. But that can't be all they mean. So what about coach houses? Tiny houses? Outhouses? Oh, you can't live in an outhouse, that's true, but what makes a laneway house different than a tiny house? The best way to think of it is it's a house on your main property that's smaller than the main property. And most importantly, it's adjacent to or beside a laneway. In the 546 region, located here, you probably see lots of these properties. But maybe you're not a savvy real estate investor and you haven't been paying attention. So let me explain what I mean. A laneway is a mini street that connects one major thoroughway to another. And laneway houses are houses that abut this sort of tiny mini city street, just like this one. You live in the 546 region and you decide you want to build one of these things. One of the biggest issues to contend with is getting your neighbors on board with the idea. It's important to keep in mind that you're going to need 0.3 meter distance beside you and your neighbor to ensure that emergency service vehicles, ambulance, fire can actually get to the laneway house in the event that there's an emergency there. Maybe some of these neighbors will need some wrangling, maybe some of them will be on board right away. It's really going to depend, but at the end of it all, you're going to need a limiting distance agreement to ensure that that requirement is met. So, why do it? Why build it? Well, there's a handful of different reasons. Maybe you've got an ailing parent, you want to keep them close by. It's a good option for that. Maybe you want to add to your bottom line and get a rental property right onto your property. This simplifies the ability for you to manage that property. And kind of the peripheral reason might be because you want to contribute to something bigger, something more interesting, something that contributes to the cultural milieu of the city. That's what laneway houses do. So, what are you waiting for? Get out there and build your laneway house.